Hi, welcome back to ODE YouTube channel. Today I have an unboxing video to make and I'm really excited with this. So this is a box that I just received and I'm really excited because this pen is on my wish list for this year. I didn't open this. This is just the place where the address was, so I just cut that part out, but the box is still closed, so I'm really interested. I have this Victorinox Alox knife to open these, and I chose this color because this is the most similar to yellow that I have in a Victorinox knife, at least in a Victorinox Alox knife. And it has this pruner blade, which is very nice to open boxes. So, pen again. I'm really excited because the pen is on my wish list. The pen is from an Italian manufacturer and the pen is yellow. So, Italian, yellow and wish list. So, what could I ask for more? So, I will open these and then I will talk to you some stuff about it. I can tell you that these came from Firenze, which means Florence, in Italy, and there is also in this tape Il Pennaio, but I will talk about it in a moment. Now, let's open it. Okay, now it is open. Let's see what we have here. And here it is. This is the amazing stuff that I'm so happy. So here we have it. Let's take this out. And we have the box. Let's put the protective stuff away. And this is a very nice looking box. So, let's talk about the pen and see what we have here. So, first, sorry or excuse me for my language skills, but this brand, this pen is from a brand that is called Duchessa 1935, and sorry for my very bad Italian, but this should mean Duchessa 1935, of course, and Duchessa means Duchess. So it's the name of the brand, Duchess 1935. And the model of this pen is called Antiqua. I have to say that I'm so excited with this because I loved this pen from the concept. I'm not sure how well made this is, I'm not sure how well it writes, but I loved the concept behind this pen. And so, let me go back just a little bit and then I'll open these. I know, it'll take forever to open boxes, but if you still watch my unboxing videos, I guess you enjoy them, and I cannot do these quickly. And I'm anxious to open it, but I will keep calm. So, just to give you some overview about this. This pen is, then I will give you extra details when I show this pen in other videos, but this pen is a pen that is a modern pen, but the brand Duchessa is an old brand, but Duchessa 1939 is not. So, what do I mean with this? In Italy, in Milan, there was a brand created in 1935, which was called Duchessa. This brand from 1935 made pens and components for pens. So they made the fountain pens themselves and also the nibs and other parts. And they existed from 1935 until 1958. And that's part of the history. And then the brand disappeared. Okay. Then there is a person, a pen repairman in Italy, whose name is Fabio Moricci. And Fabio Moricci is called also in this activity is called the Il Pennaio. And Il Pennaio, it means the penman. So he has a store where he is the restorer of old fountain pens. So not only old, but he repairs pens. So this is a fun thing. And he found some years ago a stock of old nibs from the brand Duchessa. So he found a large amount of new, never used nibs from Duchessa, steel nibs, and then he made the reverse thought. He did not find a pen that he needed parts, he found one of the parts, and obviously the nib is I would say the most important part of a pen. He found the nibs and he thought in reverse. And if I created a pen for the nib? So he went and he used the vintage steel nibs. He looked for the other parts, the other metal parts also as vintage parts. And so what we have here today is a pen that in all the filling system and the metal parts are the vintage ones from a vintage brand called Duchessa, and the barrel, cap and section are modern, made to fit those parts. Even the filling system is a vintage filling system, and the pen is a modern creation that is now called Duchessa 1935 instead of Duchessa only. So I think I said all that is important and talked about the name and in a very bad Italian. And so let's see what we have inside finally. And let's do it. We open these and I have a nice envelope that says for Mr. Paulo, thank you. And then I think it has a card, maybe it is more personal information, not sure. Okay, and I'm looking at the card instead of looking at the pen. It has this little thing, okay. And I'll go to all the other parts before looking at the pen, I know that. I have here a big booklet. Okay, so you can find everything here, the history that is written in Italian and in English also. So it has the history here. I will not read the English or the Italian part. And it says all this. By connecting to its origins built of last generation acrylics, together with original nibs, levers and clips from the 50s. And so this is an interesting pen, 100% made in Italy. The instructions and how to maintain the pen. So it's very interesting, and we have here also the warranty. So there is also something that I would like to tell you, is that this edition is a limited edition because they are limited to the amount of vintage parts they have, and I think it's 250. I did not write it down, but you can check on their website. I will leave links below. And so finally, let's take a look at the pen, because this is what brought all of us here. Let me take it out. The box is very nice. And here we have the pen. It surely has a vintage feel. Even this kind of yellow is not what I would call a modern yellow. It's hard for me to explain. So, we have here a lever filler pen, which is something that I find amazing. It's the only, as far as I know, the only modern lever filler pen being produced now. I don't know of any other. Maybe there is. I showed you recently a Marlin pen that is a coin filler, which is the same kind of system but without the lever, and this is a lever filler. And there is also the other one, the Conklin Crescent filler, the Mark Twain, which also has kind of a similar thing, but it doesn't have the lever. So you have here the vintage lever that you will use like this to fill the pen. Below you have Duchessa with the crown, which is the symbol of the brand. The vintage clip. I think it's so nice to have the vintage parts. And then you unscrew the cap and you see the nib. And let me just put this light a little closer. And sorry, I think this video is a little bit out of not that well organized, but what can I do? When I'm excited with things, I get a little bit lost. So here you have the nib. Not sure if you can read it. It is a vintage nib. They needed to make a specific color to put the nib, and it has that same crown there, and then it says Duchessa and iridium point. I'm not sure if you can really read it. It's not that easy. The nib was cleaned and so on, but it is more on the... It has some patina, I would say, and I would think it's not a flexible nib, but it will allow some line variation. So I will not unscrew this. I think this is really nice. It has kind of a vintage feel, as I told you. This is a yellow that is not the most common shade of yellow, I would say. I don't know if I have any yellow pen here around me right now. Actually, I have 3 yellow pens around here. I have pens in many places here at my home, but I went for one that was close. And the ones that I have here near the recording place are 3 pens. I have Kaweco Student in yellow, and you can see it is more on the orange side of yellow. I also have a Parker Jotter, and you know that the color balance may not be completely good here, but this is a Parker Jotter, the new one in yellow. This is a warmer tone. And then I have the Aurora Duocard, the modern one. Let me just check my exposure and put it a little bit, make some adjustment here. And I would say that this kind of yellow is the colder tone of yellow of all of those. So I think this is really an amazing pen, and I think if someone saw this pen somewhere, could easily guess it is an older pen, because this color looks older. The kind of imprint also looks older. The fact it is not completely solid, it's solid yellow, but you can see some translucency. It's not that it's translucent for itself, but I think you can see the part of the color on the beneath it. So if you tell me this is a an old vintage pen, I would believe it, and I think it is so nice, and the capping is perfect. Okay, and it has several entries for the cap to thread in place, and this is really a beautiful pen. So, but I will check all these, how many turns, so, and the clip aligns with the Duchessa. Let me check. One turn and a half to uncap. I think this pen is, I'm very happy. I have to say that this is something I always tell you. This pen was sent to me free of charge by Duchessa, by Fabio Moricci, and I thank you so much for sending me this pen. I know that when we are talking about special editions or limited editions, it is quite hard to give one away, and this is a different kind of a special edition or limited edition. You have some limited editions that are made and they can say we are only making a number of units for this finish or model or whatever. In this case, he can only make as many pens as the vintage parts he has. If he makes something else with newer nibs, for example, you'll have another brand. It will be another model, it will be a different pen. It's not something that he can't go back in time and produce the older nibs. So, I think that this pen is very interesting. It looks well made, it has the inner cap, it has all those nice details, and I'm glad with this. This also, all the pen is very well polished. The threads are not polished, they have a more matte feel to it, so there will be always some dirt there. And I hesitated a little bit before getting the pen with the yellow section, because in this pen, because it is not a cartridge filler, you need to dip the pen in the ink. So this will be dirty with ink. There's nothing I can do about it. Okay. Do I need to say again that I'm very happy? So thank you so much, Mr. Fabio Moricci. But let me just say something else. This is the parts are modern parts, as I told you. The plastic parts, only the resin, whatever parts are modern. The vintage parts are the clip, the lever, and the nib. But I have to say something else. I was telling you about I was wondering about the nib, the section, if I should have the yellow section or not. This is a very interesting detail. Because these parts are modern, they are made for your specific order. So, if you go to their website, you have a pen preview thing, and you can create your own pen. You have maybe 10, maybe more, I'm not 100% sure right now, finishes for the pen or materials. So you can choose from those materials the material that go into the top of the cap, the section, and the barrel. So I could have chosen a black section, a yellow barrel, a red cap, and a green top of the cap. So you can, and there are also some marbled materials, so you can go there and in their website and you can create the pen that suits your preferences, and I think that is a very, very nice thing. So, as I was telling you, this pen really looks like something that was almost handcrafted, and I think it was handcrafted from the materials, from the bars of the material. it has the vintage part, and I'm so happy with this pen that I believe its concept it's really amazing. I think we can all relate to that. When you go to a flea market, at least I am like that. I see a vintage pen that is a little damaged, and I don't always do that, but sometimes I want to buy the pen and to give it a new life and try to make it work again, because it deserves. It has its own history, and as I told you in a recent video, I really appreciate the pen makers that pay homages to their older products, and this is amazing. I'm not sure if there was this real shape of pen, but they went for a very classical and very vintage shape. So I think even if this exact shape didn't exist, it is perfectly possible to have existed. And they made the reverse thing. They found the parts and then they made the pen. And I think that is great. I think that deserves some support. And this is how I got very interested in this pen, and I can say that I would love to keep this pen for myself. I will, because Mr. Fabio sent it to me, so thank you again. I will keep it for myself, but even if the pen didn't write well, I'm not sure, I didn't use it yet, I will, and I will review it, of course. Even if the pen didn't work, just the concept and the exercise of making it is amazing. And besides bringing the parts to life and allowing you to choose how your pen should look like, I think that is amazing. I like yellow, so maybe you may say that no, that pen is not beautiful. In that color, it's never beautiful. But actually, I think it is. And I'm finding something that I didn't know. I think there is a magnet there on the tip of the barrel, because to post it has some... There, you saw? I don't know if you can see it. When I do that, it looks like it is repelled. It is repelling the cap. And if I go a little bit further, it's now there. So it is posted securely just because of that. And I think this way the cap will not scratch the barrel. So this is well thought. And I didn't understand this by the description. Okay, this is too long now. I don't care. I hope you don't care how long this video was also. I hope you enjoyed it. I did enjoy it a lot, and I saw that you can align the crown, or you can with the clip, or you can align the lever with the clip, and when you unscrew, the lever is aligned with the nib. So all these nice details. So go there, choose your pen. There are only, I think, 250 available. Don't miss this pen if you find this creation a great thing. I do. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope to see you soon here. Bye.